Put me in, coach. Today we're talking about the Clippers once again. Are they in trouble against the Utah Jazz? Before we get into that, like this video. Also, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell like an open jump shot. Most importantly, share this video like an assist because we're talking basketball here. So, are the Clippers in trouble? You better believe it. If they don't come in with that sense of urgency, they're going home, right? Because I can talk about the team chemistry. I could talk about how deep both teams are, how the Utah Jazz have at least 5 to 7 players who score 10 or more points a game, right? I could talk about that. I could talk about how the Clippers aren't really showing their depth, meaning those guys aren't scoring 10 and up. But what's important to note here is that Paul George and Ty Lue need to step their games up. Number one, Paul George needs to score 30 to 40 points per game. Why? Because all the superstars in the NBA are doing it. That's number one. Number two, it'll help Kawhi Leonard because Kawhi Leonard looks like he understands, or at least from my perspective, it's hard to play against the best offensive option on the opposite team and be the best offensive option on your own team. Why? Because you don't get a break. And when you don't get a break, this is where injuries happen, right? This is where players get tired real fast. And the media doesn't care about any of that. They just see, oh man, looks like Father Time is tapping them on the shoulder like they doing to LeBron. But with all of this being said, Ty Lue has to figure out who he can allow to score a certain amount of points and who he has to lock up. He has to figure that out because if he does not, the Clippers are going home early, right? I thought this would be like a 6 game, maybe 7 game, but more like a 6 game series. Why? Because the Jazz have an amazing amount of team chemistry. Why am I saying that? Because they understand, hey, we know who the shooters are on this team. We know who the defenders are on this team. And everybody is starring in their role. Got those words from Doc Rivers. Be a star in your role. And what it is you bring to the team, be the best at that. So if it's rebounding, right? If it's defense, Rudy Gobert, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. That affects the Clippers on offense because guess what? If they beat one of the Utah Jazz players on the perimeter, they got to worry about Rudy Gobert actually blocking their shot. Not just contesting it, but actually blocking it, right? Which is going to automatically make you as an offensive player adjust your shot, which means it's a higher, it's easier to miss that shot because you're not getting what you used to getting. So, with those things being said, and I've been comparing D Wade and Donovan Mitchell for the longest time, so it's pretty funny for people to finally start saying that. But here's the biggest difference between Spider Mitchell and Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade, much better defender, lockdown defender. That's D Wade. Donovan Mitchell, much better three-point shooter, much better, not even close. But that's just those two comparisons. From those two, outside of that, fast, quick, right? Fast is forward. Quick is side to side. At least that's how I teach. That's how I train the children, right? Or that's how I teach them, right? You can be fast, but make sure you quick. You can always be quick, even if you're not fast. So, with all of that being said, the Clippers do have a chance because Donovan Mitchell has an ankle injury, and number 44, who I have a hard time pronouncing his name, but number 44, it looked like he also injured his ankle as well. So this should give the Clippers hope. But if they don't come out with intensity, meaning this is a game 7 for them, that's their mentality. If they don't come in with that mentality, they're going home real early. Real early. This won't even be a series. This series will be over before we realize that it was a series. All right. So again, Clippers, they got to step their game up. Paul George, he needs to score at least 30 to 40 points Ty Lue has to figure out, how do we get Paul George going? And who do we allow to score? But most importantly, who do we not allow to score? Right? Is it Spider Mitchell? Because if you focus too much on Spider Mitchell, other guys will get going, including a guy like Jordan Clarkson, because the coach has gave him the ultimate green light. Shoot the ball from wherever you are. Get to the basket, score, get to the free throw line, shoot threes, just make plays. Just make plays. That's all Jordan Clarkson has to worry about. Because, my Lakers, we drafted him. But he isn't a point guard. Guess what? He can score the basketball. And he's quick and fast. So, with all of that being said, I just want to thank y'all for tuning in. There will be a video that I'm going to make letting you know who I think will be in the finals. So, let's see if I'm right. But for now, I'm going to end this video here. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace.